What's good, Flow Crew? TFP. Flow T, stand up! Hey, listen, we back. Um, Back on your screens. You know what I'm saying? We'll be talking about Sakamoto Days today. There's been a lot of controversy whether it's a good adaptation or not. A lot of people saying they're not really fan of action. A lot of people saying it's good. We'll be talking about it, see how we feel about the adaptation as of yet. River and Azid, as like just anime watchers only, like how is your blind opinion?
Me personally, I like it. I haven't seen the third episode yet, but the first two, it definitely starts off well. Like you can tell it's gonna be kind of goofy, but also gonna have some serious moments. They gonna get to boxing when it matters. Sakamoto's obviously OP as shit, right? So I like the vibe. It seems like there might be some undertones, like even that backstory of Sakamoto and his wife. There'll be like some undertones, some themes that actually go on in the show, which I like that a lot. When you can kind of mesh a comedy, seriousness, and like themes into one show together, I think that's going to really come out pretty nicely. Which is kind of interesting because that is kind of similar. That is a kind of a similar format to Dandadan, you could say, right? So like the fact that like Sakamoto is similar in that way in terms of having those kind of things play out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's kind of an interesting note.
Now, me personally, I love it. So I've seen episode 3 and episode 4 as of right now. I think what I enjoy about Sakamoto, to me, and I was watching it in Discord earlier with some of the community, and what we all enjoy about Sakamoto is that when it comes to the comedy elements to it, it's enjoyable, and it can be over the top. Once you watch episode 3 and 4, it can be over the top, but it does it well enough to where like they mix in a good amount of comedy and a good amount of action to where I believe it flows. And the character dynamics with like the psychic character, the Chinese girl that comes in later, and even other characters that get introduced from like the assassins themselves, every character is so unique and dynamic in either the weapon schemes or the personality. So I just enjoy it.
Now, does anyone want to get? Does anyone want to get? Like, does anyone have more praise for the series before? I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to just throw a wrench in the works right now. You feel me? I'll get my praise out the way. Actually.
Okay, he's trying to get his praise out the way. Okay.
Yeah, I get my praise out the way because one thing I will say, I think the style, and, like artistic choice they showed, like they've chosen for the anime, fits the manga perfectly. I think the characters look amazing, the style and vibe of the anime itself look amazing. And like you said, as like the comedy is, you know what I'm saying, it's on point. It doesn't feel out of place. For me personally, it gives me, obviously I've read the manga, so it's like I'm not like saying this as of like blind, but it's like just off the characters alone, if we talk about Sakamoto, Shin, Lu, they give me heavy Gintama vibes. They're very like feel as if it's Shinpachi, Gintoki, and Kagura, and even like Hard Boiled in the recent episode. He kind of reminds me of what's his name, Hasegawa in Gintama. Like the series for me feels so like remnant of Gintama in a way. And I feel like maybe the mangaka did get a little inspiration from Gintama when writing up some of these characters, just in terms of personality, not like actually like their actual character writing. But the characters I liked. I thought the comedy in episode 4, especially, it was pretty funny. Yeah. Especially when Shin was trying to with the eye drop, and he's like acting like a little bitch. Like that shit was hilarious to me. But even the new girl, Hard Boy with the new girl. I like their personalities. I like how it's shown.
I don't know what y'all building up to with this shit. Talking about let's get the praise out the way. Look,
that's what I'm saying.
The first 3, right? I've also read the first 100. I've also read the first 100 chapters. This so far, anime adaptation and whatnot. Like TK said, I think it's more so the anime that is giving off the Gintama vibes than the manga. The manga, the general story has some parallels to it for sure. Just in the fact that they're both gag series relatively, don't take themselves seriously. Of course, they have a main trio and whatnot. And so when it comes to that, I think that like the anime is giving it a new life, a little bit, a little new approach, put it into a new light. And I don't know. I'm curious to see. You go. Okay. Hey. Yeah, I was finna kick it to him. That's what I was leading to. But what's it called? But yeah, no, I think that the anime just in the things that it's decided to leave in, things that it's decided to take away, I think it definitely is more reminiscent of Gintama.
The voice acting too, for
But I
sure.
like that.
I think it's the voicing, because I think Sakamoto has the same voice as Gintoki.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken, so they have the same voice actor. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I don't think Lou and Kagura has the same voice actor, but they might. I have to double check. But they do sound very, very, very similar. So,
hey, if that's true,
I will say
they knew what they were doing.
Watching half of it in dub.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, and that's why it's like they did that. I feel, because it's like the vibe that they give as a trio is the same vibe that you get from, you know what I'm saying, the Yorozu,
So
the Ojos. The only issue is I can't say it because I'll be spoiling you two, but it's only not as, you know what I'm saying, the same because of something that happens with one of the characters compared to the Oddjobs in terms of, you know what I'm saying, being relative to the story, but that's besides the point.
I guess. I doubt that this is the same voice actress for Gagura, only because she's 30.
Oh, so I'll be too young. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I might be wrong though.
What I'm curious about is, so TK been talking about like get the praise out the way. Like, my brother, what?
All right, listen. Okay, I'll preface this. Now, listen, for everyone saying, when I say get the praise out of the way, it's like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad adaptation. I'm not going to say that. I just don't
The manga's better.
I just don't
That's what I was
think
gonna say.
it's as
Shout out, Alex.
good as like people when they're saying, I know I wasn't the only one that heard that.
What, the phone?
Yeah, I heard that.
The static.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Is it me?
Yeah, it
Shit.
may be if you didn't hear it. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a bad adaptation. I just think for Sakamoto Days standards, it could be better. Simply in the action department. Now, like I said, I'll preface this. I'm not gonna go too hard on it only because it's episode 4 and the early action isn't really anything too crazy. It's just next episode, because obviously they just started the hard-boiled fight pretty much midway through episode 4. So what I will do is I'll actually give. Hold on, I'm about to die. I'll give it a chance and like see how it is. Episode 5. That's kind of where I would judge to see how, like, where this adaptation will go. So far, it's like the action feels kind of sluggish to me, and not only that, it's like they skipped out. They didn't even adapt chapter 2 or chapter 3. Now, whether you may sit here and say that they're really that important to the story or narrative, either it does a little bit more building of Sakamoto, Shin, and the convenience store, and everything, just doing day-to-day activities. So it's kind of like slice of lifey type shit, and it has some nice action. There was like a bus scene where robbers got on the bus and they're trying to hijack the bus, and then Sakamoto and Shin have to stop it. Like, it was pretty nice. It would have been nice to see, but they just skipped out on it completely.
That's I remember you mentioned that before, right? When we were like in a voice call the other day. Then that's why I wanted to talk about that too, because like obviously you're saying it's not super important, but like I really am curious like why they did that. Okay, bro, who changed my name, bro? Like, hold on, bro.
Yeah, I thought you would have seen it before we started talking. I'm not gonna cap.
This is crazy.
I don't know who changed it, but must have been Alex.
This is crazy, bro. Hold on, let me.
With
that being said, though, I'm gonna just do this. I bet.
Okay, to answer your question,
yeah,
I feel like they did that because obviously the part 1 is only 11 episodes, and they've been going at a pace of adapting about a chapter or 2 per episode. So by the time we get to the end, there's a certain point where it would like perfectly end up. So maybe it's just episode count. Maybe, but if that was the case, they could have just made it 12 episodes instead of 11. So I really couldn't tell you as to why they skipped out on episode 2 and 3. Because if they had skipped out on chapters like later on down the line, depending on what they had skipped out on, it may not have been as bad. But like skipping out on stuff this early,
that's crazy.
It would have been nice to see at least.
Is there any chance they come back to that, or like is that ship sailed?
Nah,
sailed.
No. Once the series gets going, it really does get going.
Shit.
I think that's probably the decision as to why, so they could get to
quicker.
The more, because like, you know, at this point in Sakamoto Days like publication, it is an action series.
Really? Okay.
The a lot of the slice of life elements, even by when I stopped reading, had taken the back burner, if not just relatively completely
Damn.
disappeared.
Interesting.
No, but even
And so
even in those chapters they cut out, there was action, enough action.
He's saying
there's
the
enough
main
action.
shit,
Don't get
though,
me
I
wrong,
think.
but I'm saying
No,
yeah,
I'm saying,
and
bro,
I think that
Sakamoto
because of that perception,
sign.
but that's zany.
Bro, it would have been this nice
That-
to see. And afraid, okay, I will spoil this because obviously they did put an anime. That actually would have been the first time we would have seen him transform back into his skinny self. Not recent episode.
Oh.
So,
But they wanted to save it, or they
Yeah,
wanted to get to a point
I
to
hear
where
it.
it actually
felt
quote
like
unquote
something
mattered.
Yeah.
Like it felt
I hear it.
more fire.
something bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we know. I've seen him do
there's
that in the
something to that.
trailers and the fucking. I've seen the chapter pictures or whatever the fuck. But
They
yeah.
also changed Lou's outfit when you first met her. I don't know why they did that,
Mhm.
especially given she's from like Chinese, or she's from Chinese origin. So I don't know why they would change her outfit. But
Maybe that's why.
maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
They probably
It
Maybe
does seem a
complications.
little like I asked some of the people. Y'all hear
I
that?
do hear it.
Okay.
I do hear it.
I do think it is River.
I don't know why though.
Yeah,
Like,
she might be River.
fuck.
No, but I did ask some people in the community about that, and they did say at times it seems like they're kind of going. I want to say too far with her race, but it seems like they're trying to put it. What's the best way?
They're trying to
Not too much
Japanese her
focus,
up.
but they kind of like put a lot of focus that she is a Chinese character,
Yeah.
but not in the right way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
To me, it's not negative. I think they just showed that it's her heritage to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
But like, if you watch episode 4, I believe they just introduced the drunken fist style.
Yeah.
And then they kind of make it a joke
Yeah.
versus like they
Rock
actually
Lee?
get serious with it. They make it a joke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rock Lee in the anime,
Yeah.
bro? That's tough, bro. Hey, hopefully he doesn't get wasted this time. That's all I gotta say, man. Hopefully you don't get wasted.
Yeah. So I think they're just trying to do it as more of a not trying to disrespect the culture, but still trying to stay faithful to the anime.
Yeah.
I mean the manga series.
Yeah.
Sorry to take you away from the podcast, and thank you for watching in the first place. Look, I'm only here to remind everyone to vote for the Flow Awards 2025. Yes, we are coming back this year with our own awards show, not anime related per se. Vote on your most valuable pod member, the funniest pod member, the sexiest pod member, as well as the family friend of the pod, guest of the year, pod of the year, etc. Go over in the description, click the Google form, and place your votes to see who's going to win in a few weeks. Thank you for participating, and back to the show.
I think everything else though, besides that, they've done pretty. Like I said, they've done pretty well. The only thing I'm kind of just gonna reserve my hard criticisms for next episode when they actually get into the meat
What's
and potatoes of hardboard versus
what's your
Sakamoto.
hard crit? Do you have the or do you have that opinion now? Like before getting there?
No, I mean I'm just saying like I'm not gonna dunk on Sakamoto too much for its action. Yeah, because it has had good action. Like the fight with Shin and that one assassin when Shin was in a bunny suit, and I guess for a few couple seconds in the recent episode when Hardboiled first meets Sakamoto, it's like the choreography is like there. It's just other parts that we've seen prior to that it just felt a little
off.
sluggish.
Well,
Yeah. And I'm only saying that for Sakamoto's Days standards. Because if you read the manga, you would understand. There's nothing wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong really with the action. The action is solid. I'm just saying for Sakamoto Days standards, they
Like
could
the
do
art
more,
is
that's what
like
I'm saying.
high tier type shit, or like the
The art is one of the best in all of
shit.
manga. The action
Yeah, the action is
lines and
phenomenal.
whatnot
The action is absolutely phenomenal.
is in all of manga, not just shonen manga. In
Wait,
all of
that's
ongoing
tough.
manga,
What is it?
It is.
You said Sakamoto Days action in all is better in all.
It's like one of the
manga.
best.
It's up there. It's one of the
Yes,
best.
like if you
in
talk
all of
about like
ongoing
action
manga.
in terms of choreography in the manga, Sakamoto Days would get mentioned. So.
Yeah.
So you said it's like top 5
specifically-
greatest. They got to
No,
be in the discussion.
I wouldn't say like top 5 greatest, but it's in like just a range of talks pretty much.
Yeah. Barbershop talk. Range.
Yeah.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Because I ain't gonna-
AI is one of the greatest.
I just said when you making Clay like, oh, this could be one of the best all time. I was like, maybe I should pick it up.
And I don't mean all time. I'm talking about ongoing.
Okay.
Ongoing.
Like,
But the thing is,
but is that really fair though? Because it's not like a lot of manga series ending extremely early.
I mean, there's a lot of series ongoing. A lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot.
Yeah, but they're
Manga's
ending like less than 100 chapters though.
But the art can still be
how
ended.
many series do you know that are ongoing? I can read off like 50 manga right now that's ongoing. We're not just talking like Shonen Jump. We're just talking like manga in general.
That's what oh yeah.
In all of
like manga,
and specifically, it's because of how it's able to capture motion and how specific, like the simulation of motion with action lines and all that, with how it gets. It's pretty perfect in the manga, and that's why, even to TK's point, even if we go this entire season, even if we go with this entire series adaptation, and it never lives up to that, I'm fine with that. Because honestly, I think that the things that Sakamoto Days does to make its action some of the best in the entire industry are things that are pretty unadaptable.
Like what, for example?
Unless it were to, like, I think that the things that it uses and it manipulates and it does great are things that are exclusive to a written medium. They're exclusive to manga.
Okay.
I don't think that it's as translatable. Unless you were to just use a bunch of motion blur into movement in the animation, because the whole point is that it's simulating motion. Once you actually put it in a situation where it's actually moving, it's inherently less impressive.
Sakamoto Days could definitely be simulated into anime format, even if they went down the route of just adding like little cuts. And I'm talking like little cuts, stuff that where it's like the whole fight isn't an original, but of like little cuts of like original choreography to kind of just pace the fights out a bit more. You can easily.
That'd be interesting. I will say,
because obviously, I will say the action in Sakamoto Days is pretty fast paced. So it's like they could just, like I said, add little original cuts here and there. Same shit they do with JJK in season 2. They can just do that with Sakamoto Days a little bit.
I suppose to just make it there. To make it better for sure, but not to capture the same.
Yeah, it can't be a 1-to-1 type shit. I will say just,
I feel like the facts being too far.
Just to know, obviously, like it is JC staff that's doing this, right? Which is it's kind of ironic because they also did One Punch Man season 2, and that also is one of the best art in manga, and also people kind of said, "Oh, this is not living up to what." Me personally, I thought it was good, but it wasn't the same as season 1, which I think is kind of funny how like they're doing both. And also, I'm just scrolling through these, obviously for the ones I know, and the way the House Husband they also did, which is a bit scary, depending on how. I doubt they would, make Sakamoto Days look like that, which would be kind of a crime, I think, especially with how you guys are hyping.
Dr. Stone, Baki as well, right?
You said what?
They did Dr. Stone and Baki as
well.
Oh,
really? Oh, okay. I don't know why is this not on here, bro? My anime list, bro. Y'all are selling.
Oh, actually, correction. Shout out to Zod. Sakamoto is by TMS.
Sorry, TMS Entertainment.
Bruh, TK, bruh.
TMS.
Why always I thinking JC staff? Hold on, who's on TMS?
I don't know, but sorry, TMS did Baki and.
Okay, so you were right about what it was. I'm just an idiot, and for some reason I thought it was JC staff. My fault.
Hey, I don't know why you said that. You messed me up.
Wait, but you missed their number 1 series, How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon.
Type shit.
All right, lay off my shoulder.
Yes. Okay, well,
I had to come
anyways, just to get my point off, because I think it can still stand using Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone's action isn't nothing crazy, right? Like, it's cool, but nothing crazy. And I think that's what we may end up getting from Sakamoto Days. And if that is the case, I understand the criticism. Okay, no. Sakamoto
Days action is better than Dr. Stone's.
Yeah, no.
Oh shit, they did Toradora.
It's supposed to be. Though.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm not saying it's like it's not. I'm just saying like it's one of those things where we see how Dr. Stone's is, and that you know what I'm saying, it's not meant to be that crazy anyway. But like even translating to a series where it is meant to be more crazy, I doubt that they're just gonna like blow it out the water, knowing their other work in the past. It's kind of my point. Like, Granted,
they not gonna do something like Fate Stay Night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they gonna be all that. I mean, they have what they done Undead Unluck 2, which is a more recent. So they're starting to pick up some more recent. They kind of
Sonic X.
Really, they did Sonic X on week, bro.
Yeah, they did Sonic.
Nagatoro, son. They did Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket look good, but
they did Megalobox as well.
So
it's like I like Sakamoto.
It's not a bad,
I like
not a bad studio.
I'm just saying, it could be much better to live up to how the action, how beautiful the action is in the manga. That's all I'm saying.
To be fair, TMS, well, as an anime only, like I don't have any intellect about the manga at all.
Yeah.
But I feel like from what the studio's main points that they can do. Oh, somebody else said the Detective Conan and Lupin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What my thing is, for the studio that's going with it, I do feel like they're doing the best that they can do, and they're pulling on the most strengths of Sakamoto, which is the artistic and colorfulness that it has. The action, like for me, I like the action. Like episode 3, he was talking about the boxing match in the bunny suit with our psychic guy. I enjoyed that. I actually really enjoy how goofy they can make certain scenarios be.
Yeah.
And I guess somebody was talking about the tone earlier, but like how Sakamoto can get like a pencil and take down somebody in like 30 seconds or something like that. I enjoy that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because to me, as a viewer of the anime with any knowledge of the manga, it shows like, okay, all these characters that are supposed to be at the high up elite of the criminal organization, they still don't hold a candle. And then when Boiler came to the scene in this upcoming episode, it made me think for a second, like, okay, like we was in the discussion in Discord, and we was like, is he being serious or he's just playing around? And then to the very end of the episode, we came to the conclusion, like, oh, Sakamoto actually is trying to get serious.
Yeah.
And so it carried more weight.
No,
that's how I personally feel.
You'll see there's scenes, and I don't remember if it will be shown this season, but Sakamoto, his feet.
I've heard.
Is insane. No, he is insane. He's not real.
He's fat John Wick.
Yeah, no, he's lit, but times 10.
Like I've heard
times 100.
People put Sakamoto in convos, not like of strongest anime character, but like certain convos where it's like, okay, like he different. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard,
against like other superhumans.
Goku?
Like against like other superhumans, he can hold his own. One thing I will okay, this is the only thing I will say. This isn't really spoiler, but he held up a tower by himself using the wire off the tower. Like it was falling over. Half of it was falling over, and he held it together while still fighting. Bro, he's insane.
You know what? He's insane. After episode 2, I believe anything. This man fell off like, what is it? What did he fall off of? It was like barely scratched.
Yeah, thanks. When they fell off the season.
That little cliff. Yeah. I believe anything at this point, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He's absolutely insane.
He's different. I will say this though, just to go on the criticisms of Sakamoto. Alex wanted me to kind of get off what he was thinking about it. He said he likes it, but the only thing that bothers me was the voice acting for the brothers and the Chinese girl. It felt like I was listening to someone voice act for the first time, or it just felt like that voice didn't really belong to that character. He is talking about the dub, to clarify.
I actually like the dub, personally. Most of what I watched was the dub, partially because I watched the dub. Partially because I just thought it was pretty impressive. He said Shin?
No,
the brothers,
Lou, and those two assassin brothers,
and then the shorty.
I mean, they're such
those assassin brothers don't show up again. So
yeah, they're such whatever. They're one-off characters. I don't really. I just don't care if the voice fits them. For Lou, I think it's fine. Is it what I expected? Envisioning a voice in my head, reading the manga? No. But Yuji's voice isn't what I envisioned from when I started reading JJK.
And I feel like that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, they're not going to be able to pull exactly what you think it should be. And for the brothers, I could see maybe they felt a little too goofy, potentially, for what they were meant to be or whatever, which is like, and even with Lou, it's like I didn't really see too much of an issue, like thinking about it. But maybe she wasn't like perfect, like the best voice actor I've heard by any means. But it wasn't like I was sitting there like, dang, like I wish there was something better. Like I have a problem, like this is like affecting my experience. But it is one of those things where when something gets adapted from a manga you like a lot, if it doesn't fit what you think, I can understand how you would have criticism, even though I think it's unfair. But it's still okay to have that thought process at the same time. I think.
My thing is though is that not sounding like
Okay.
what you envisioned is one thing, but like outright being a bad voice actor for that character is another. Like you may think that it doesn't fit the character, but that voice actor can still have a good performance for the character. You feel me? So it's like I get it, but at the same time, if the voice actor's doing a good job regardless, then is it really that bad?
Then yeah, like what is it?
I mean, he's saying
I just heard a comparison. Yeah, I just watched a comparison video because I've been watching it in sub.
Yeah, same.
The dub, it seems like it's off. Like the mouth isn't matching the tone of voice.
Interesting.
And that's for each character except the brothers. In the Japanese sub, I don't have a single issue. I feel like everybody's cast perfectly.
Yeah, same.
But in the dub, it does sound like, I don't know if it's a YouTube video, but hearing from what you guys sound like, there's like a Japanese versus English dub comparison for each episode. Yeah. I'm gonna send it. But
please.
But it does sound off. Like every character in some
way.
Yeah, I would have to check that out.
I will say,
I'll just play devil's advocate.
As someone who's been watching dub more often these days, like I just have started watching dub because it's easier, right? And I can like multitask, like Cardiac said. Dub is just like generally speaking, dub is just off. Like I'm not gonna say every anime is like that. Some anime have very good dubs, but in general, I would say the majority of dubbed anime do feel off. You know what I'm saying? To me personally, compared to sub, I think sub feels more fitting for the anime, generally speaking, which makes sense because that's what it was. The dubbing is like changing it over, right? So it makes sense why it wouldn't fit exactly right. But that is just kind of how dubs are in general. So it is a bit unfair for me to be like criticize Sakamoto's dub for that when I think that is just kind of a common thing. Is it not one of the best dubs? No, it wouldn't be, right? But I wouldn't necessarily criticize it for that because that is just kind of how dubs are in general for the most part, from what I've seen at least.
This may be a hot take for me. No, I agree with everything you said, River. I say this might be a hot take because I know in Japan, right, a lot of voice actors, they go through like series of vocal training, and I'm not saying that they don't do that in America, but I don't know what it is. Maybe they gotta go back to school or something because some of these voices,
it's different.
That's what I'm saying. The emotion of the character is different, and I feel like they can convey it more. I feel like the voice actors for this series, even in dub, they're good voice actors because I heard these voices before. I just feel like they can't change up the emotional element that switches off from comedy to action. Yeah. I feel like they're stuck in either one or the other.
I can see that.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Like they taking Sakamoto too serious. Like the voice actor for Sakamoto, I feel like he's taking it too serious in moments that need to be more soft and lighthearted.
Yeah, I think I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
You talking about the English dub?
What?
Yep. Because I just watched the video and it has each episode comparison for the voices.
What is interesting about this is obviously a tangent on dub, but it is interesting to me that generally speaking, well, I've commonly heard people say like older dubs are generally better, and from what I've seen, I would agree. Yeah. I do wonder why that is. That would for some reason just back then like dubs would just hit better. I don't really know why. You would think over time it would get better, but maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe the certain tones.
I can't speak for dub as a whole. I can't speak for dub as a whole because I don't watch dub like that. But just certain dub clips that I do see, especially from most like I would say more hyped up mainstream shows. So like let's just say like from last year, like you know what I'm saying, Windbreaker and such as other series. Like I would hear the dub and it just doesn't like I can't imagine myself sitting through an entire like 12 episode series and watching it in dub and not getting pissed off. I just don't think I can.
What I will say,
I'm not saying all dub. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, Don, for example, was I think a good dub. That was good. I think Don's dub was very well done.
Like Don, Dungeon Meshi.
Dungeon Meshi.
A good dub.
I did see that in dub too.
I think back then they just had more to prove. Like Black Lagoon, for example, right? The voice actress for Revy, she voiced act for My Little Pony. Crazy. Like the switch up is insane. Yeah.
I feel that's how it be in Japan though. They be doing that too. They be having that range.
Yeah. I feel like back then anime just wasn't I'm not saying it was terrible, but wasn't a respectful craft to a lot of people. And so they had more to prove. So they had more emotion to meet, right? now it's like anybody wants to be a voice actor. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like it's still a competitive field. But now anybody, you can hire somebody who's like a YouTuber to voice act the character now.
Yeah.
Which been shown in some of the later anime, popular YouTubers been voicing anime characters. Like Lily Pichu. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Another thing for me, I feel like, now correct me if I'm wrong, but just how it sounds. When it comes to dub, they also recycle like the same voice actors for the most part, like over and over again. It's like every character. Well, I'm not gonna say every character, but it's like exaggeration. I'll preface that now. It's like a lot of characters just sound so similar to me. It's like, didn't she voice this? Didn't he voice it? Like they just sound like, I don't know.
And obviously,
I don't even get me started.
Some that happens, but not as often. I would think,
yeah.
I think y'all are talking out your ass.
What?
And he could be right because
I got hear.
I don't have information to back this
when
up.
it comes when it comes to two things. One, what TK just said, not because like it's wrong or anything, but because it's easily explained by like the way that linguistics work. Like, because you are an English speaker, the distinction in voices and in a voice between, okay, I've heard this somewhere, this is more familiar with me because the language that they're speaking is more familiar, the distinction that they're speaking with is more familiar, the tone that they're speaking with, the words are more familiar for you, and they're more distinct in your mind for you to hear them in different places and be able to make those connections compared to a Japanese voice. As familiar as you may be with a Japanese voice, with a Japanese voice actor, with a voice actress, and you don't know that shit. So there is
a lot of Japanese voice actors are very distinguishable. You be like, oh, I know that as soon as you start hearing them speak.
I understand that there's a difference between them being distinguishable and you being familiar enough to be able to distinctly identify at the same level as a language that you are familiar with, who that is and where they are every time.
But I mean, but the thing, what I'm saying with like English dub is that I don't know who they are. When I hear a lot of like English dub clips, in my head, I'm just like, that sounds like such and such. I feel like I've heard this. It's just, I don't think in terms of like emotion or fluctuation of voices, I just don't really think there's enough. I don't know if that's fair to say, because like I said, I preface, I don't watch dub, so I'm just going off clips and such that I see. So I don't sit and watch full. You know what I'm saying? So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Don't come at me. I beg.
I
just don't. I don't.
Oh yeah, no. You
not you. I'm just talking for the viewers.
Type shit.
Yeah.
The viewers, do not come at me. But that's just how
the only other thing is that I just don't think that older dubs are as good as y'all say.
Maybe I haven't seen enough.
Even like the ones that are like baby's first anime. Yu Yu Hakusho does not have that.
I like
it.
I like it.
A good part of its run.
I feel like mid-2000s.
The dub for Yu Yu Hakusho is
not bad.
Okay, because
it's one of the best of the decade, and that is
I liked it a lot personally. Granted, it's one of those things with dub. Then I will say, not all of the dub was hitting right. Like certain, like Yusuke, for example, very well done. I think some like Tagoro was well done. Kuwabara, well done, but not all the characters. Like if you go to some of the characters in the Dark Tournament, them shits was not hitting.
Even Hiei's voice actor is like super hit or miss throughout the entire show in terms of the level of energy that he gives. Sometimes he captures it, sometimes it comes off as bland, even more bland than Hiei is supposed to be in certain scenes or whatnot. Even Dragon Ball to an extent. There are a lot of things in original Dragon Ball that just are not delivered correct.
Original Dragon Ball is one thing. I can't really speak on original Dragon Ball. Sorry, I said my fault. But Z, I think Z, like you can't go wrong with watching Z and like dub.
Yeah, I mean, by the time Z came out, it was a phenomenon. They made sure they had the best people of the era on that shit. And then you can point out shit like Evangelion that got its rifle treatment. I've never seen Akira, so
Monster was very good.
On it.
Monster, like there's a lot.
I've heard Cowboy Bebop is very good. Obviously, as I said, Black Lagoon earlier too.
Bebop has a really good dub and whatnot, but also the production
Bleach as well.
Yeah, the production matters on a lot of these because in the 90s, a lot of anime, even with their dubs weren't even being made in America. Their dubs were being made with English speakers, at the very least, in surrounding countries in Japan, if not in Japan themselves.
That is interesting. I didn't know that.
So just the production of it has also changed over time. And also, it's just a lot of shitty.
Hey,
a lot of
Ghost Stories dub.
Like,
talk about it.
No, go. Okay, listen.
Oh yeah, I mean
they just did not take that. They got a whole bunch of.
Hey, that might be the best dub of all time. I ain't gonna lie, that shit hilarious, bro. Because I guarantee that's a completely different series as a dub and a sub. It's just two different things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, because the tone they don't take, like the dub, they don't take it serious.
It's not the same.
Well, they didn't have
even
at the time.
How old is Eden of the East? I think that dub is garbage. I think that's why I hate that show, because of the dub.
And I just say what you're saying, because I would like to before we go off into, because I have something to say about what Cardiac just said.
Gotcha. Back with the if we talking about the dub part, back then I was talking about like mid 2000s. I feel like that's when we have the best dub.
Fair.
Yeah, I was talking about like 90s. 90s is terrible. That's why I won't watch Fist of the North Star. I ain't gonna watch no Fist of the North Star. But going back to what you said about distinguishing the linguistics of basically English speakers, since we're English speakers when it comes to the dub, I think you're right to an extent, because even in Japan, I don't really hear the sub issue for them, because I feel like if it was as big as it was logistics wise, we would hear people in Japan being also upset about it, because like people in Japan, the same group of people who will burn a studio if the adaptation isn't that good. I ain't saying that's good or bad, but I feel like I just feel like when we never hear voice acting discussions, we hear like, why is the manga or anime going this way? But we never hear anything about the voice actors specifically.
Because if I'm being honest, okay, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say like they don't put effort or emotion into dub, because there's a lot of dub scenes that I am easily taking over sub scenes. But it's just naturally when you're watching a dub, I don't know what it is. But it's like, okay, let's take, like, I'll use this as a recent example. If you take a lot of average voice actor performances versus like Idris Elba voicing Knuckles, it's like there's not I'm not gonna say there's no passion put into your average English voice actor, but it's like compared to when people actually, like, you can
when they try for real.
Idris loves playing Knuckles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The Japanese, they put their heart and soul for the most part into a lot of their like voice acting performances,
and it's crazy.
I don't know where. Either, like I said, it's like you can say the same for English. Like I said, there's a lot of English scenes that I like better than the sub when it's like done right. Like I'll say All Might versus Nomu. I prefer that in dub. This is the first one I came to mind. I prefer that in dub than sub. You know what I'm saying?
FMAB, I prefer.
FMAB is another one where it's like, if you say you prefer the dub is phenomenal for FMAB. Death Note has a good dub.
It's crazy though, because like with Japanese voice actors, you give them someone like Mark, that one dude Marco from AOT that got killed in like the first 3 episodes, and they gonna go crazy with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what I'm saying.
They gonna have passion for anybody, or like, I don't know who's some random motherfucker on this shit, bro. Give them I don't know. I'm kind of hating if I use anybody. Renji. Give them Renji and they going stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Hey. Whereas, you know.
And that's fair too. That's fair. And I don't know if that's a difference in like the culture and how it's respected in different countries. I mean, shit, it's not a respected occupation in Japan either, so I can only say that for so much.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know either. So.
But I know based off of like just my own research into, and by research, YouTube videos.
W research.
My own research into, you know, the differences in how we pick up things in languages, in linguistics as humans, and how we recognize different patterns and whatnot. The whole like, oh my god, you know, this is delivered weird in dub and whatnot. Go ask a person who's spoken the Japanese language their whole life how they feel when they hear how they feel when they watch fucking what's that show with the igloo that
Oh,
Dylan
Hokkaido
would have you
Girls?
watch?
Hokkaido Girls.
Hokkaido Gals. Go ask them how they feel watching the Hokkaido Gals. That's the same cringe ass shit. It's the same
But this, okay,
cringe
but
that
even
you feel when you hear those lines in
okay,
English.
but this is the thing. I feel that, and I'm not even a Japanese speaker. I feel that sometimes like the high pitch girl voices be pissing me off when I hear it in whatever anime I'm watching.
And I'm just
Yeah.
using that as an example.
You know, I mean,
I'm
yeah,
just
but I'm
using
just
that
like
as an example.
I like both on both ends. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say Japanese. I'm not gonna be one of those motherfuckers to say, oh, Japanese dub is superior. I'm not gonna say that. It goes both ways. If it's done right, I couldn't care less how it's voiced. It could be voiced by a Congolese person. I don't give a fuck. As long as it sounds hard and they do a great job, I don't care.
Type shit.
I couldn't care less. I just feel, on average, I feel a lot of times Japanese dub has a bit more oomph to it than than English dub. You feel me? Especially nowadays.
No, I feel that. I feel that. I will also say from chat earlier. I know Kixer KYX plus whatever said whoa about something earlier. I don't know what she was saying whoa about, but
I think that was when I was talking about the older series
okay.
with
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
a subpar dub.
And as I said, I prefer authentic dubs that fits the anime's tone. Shit like NHK. What's NHK?
NHK is welcome.
Oh,
Welcome to. Is it welcome to NHK? Yeah, welcome to NHK.
Yeah, welcome to NHK. Something world.
Haibane, Renmei are those I prefer over sub. And not gonna lie, I'm tired of hearing Natsuki, Tanjiro, and Okarun. That guy that plays does them in sub, I think.
Yeah, I know Za was asking if we had any opinions, or like it was just saying what about Spanish or any other language dub. I'm assuming that
I've heard a little bit of the DBZ Spanish dub. Cool. Probably not as good.
I mean, if we're talking about like Sasuke,
that's
Sasuke.
Official review.
Sasuke, that shit's fire.
Oh, you talking about the Nigerian dub?
The French dub or the German?
Oh,
dub?
have you heard the Nigerian?
No,
have you heard the troll Nigerian dub from Naruto?
Bro,
that shit's so funny, bro. Hold on, bro. There's got to be something we can pull up real quick of that shit, bro.
I'll give stuff that people should be checking out, and then I'll also read something because I want you guys' opinion, because I already got Cardiac's opinion.
Oh boy,
I want to hear you guys' opinion.
You know what? Don't care.
You know,
he found it. He found it. Okay, he found it. Oh wait, this isn't it. What the fuck is this?
This is this.
No, I'm talking about the Nigerian troll dub, bro.
Nigerian troll dub.
Oh, Nigerian troll. I thought you were talking about the good old.
Yeah! Sasuke!
Like the dub is fire.
Sasuke!
Like, come on, like what we? That's not even bad. Sasuke!
Zaxxon Sasuke!
What?
Zaxxon Sasuke!
I thought that's what you were talking about.
Going left or right?
Shut up.
Ah! Is that how you're talking to me? Hey,
I said shut up your dirty stinking mouth. And you are a useless goat.
Chai!
Naruto.
Chai!
He gets someone we're okay.
Sasuke, you are a failure. You can never make it.
So come on for here before I
What?
boy this place.
So you won't have it today? My friend, this is your high.
You can never make
Most
it.
fantastic jutsu. You know, Sasuke, me and you, we are not
Turn
different.
this off.
I know you must be feeling like you are all alone. Me too, I was feeling this emotionalized mess. You know, when I was small picking, I would be sitting on this way, and the people were just looking at me like I was demonized. Hey, it was hard though, because I could not gain the respects. But I told myself I'm going to grow up and I'm going to become the Hokage at the top. I'm going to be the Hokage. So remember, with the power of friendship, you can accomplish your goals. You have to believe it. Believe it.
They try, but this your nonsense talk is not working.
Yeah, he overcame my talk no jutsu. But it's my best move now. Ah, Sasuke, Pico, we have to talk about it.
Wait to concern you. Why are you pressurizing me?
It's because we are best buds. 2 peas in the pot. 2 chicken in the stew. You don't know our team song.
Two chicken in the
Yo, I'm not gonna... Nigerians are funny sometimes, man.
Sasuke, stop this your shakara and come back to the village.
Come back to the village.
You have been parabolating up and down.
Sasuke, you will never make it.
Going left and right.
Emotionalizement. Yo, Nigerians keep me funny sometimes, bro. There you go, Cap.
Only sometimes. Only sometimes.
But I ain't gonna lie. Back to the topic at hand.
Yep.
Enough of voice acting.
One show that I know
What's up?
has amazing voice acting is Medalist.
Ah!
Is
Ah!
I would say I haven't seen. I don't know how we want to talk about the rest of this season because low key it's.
Nah, I'll just go. Nah, there's a few good ones. I'm watching 8 shows, which isn't a lot, but
I
it's
like their
solid.
meta commentary.
Is that including the continuings like Or Blue Box?
Nah,
What?
no.
You gonna have to.
So I'm watching 8. I'm watching 8. Well, if you okay, would Link Click count? Because if it doesn't, I'm watching 9.
Does ReZero?
I
Are
don't
you
know.
counting ReZero?
No. These are just 9 new shows
What
from
the
the season.
fuck?
Because I think Link Click.
Yeah,
Link
you're
Click's from the
crazy,
season.
bro.
I don't know.
Oh, and then I do gotta watch Toilet Bound Hunter.
You don't.
9
I
ain't
swear
even got.
you don't have to.
I like season
9
one.
isn't even much.
Okay, for me, I think I'm gonna be watching like 4 because Solo Leveling, Sakamoto Days, the Zenshu show. I started that. I'm probably gonna continue that one. And then Medalist.
Okay,
I'm
so
probably
let's
gonna watch those four.
now
I
that
got
you're here,
four.
now
Yeah,
that
I
you're
got
here,
4.
I'd like to read this out. I just want you to give me your opinions on what this is. After graduating from high school, Natsuko Hirose starts her career as an animator. Her talent quickly flourishes, and she makes her debut as a director in no time. Her first anime becomes a massive hit, sparkling a social phenomenon and earning her recognition as an up-and-coming genius director. Her next project is set to be a romantic comedy movie themed around first love. However, having never been in love herself, Natsuko struggles to understand the concept of first love, and as a result, she's unable to create the storyboard, causing the movie production to come to a standstill. Now, I want you to explain to me, off hearing that, what do you think the show's going to be about?
Well,
Slice of life and drama.
I watched it, so I'm not gonna say.
Okay, Azzy, what do you think the show is going to be about?
I think it's gonna be a slice of life and drama series.
In another world.
Can I?
So no romance. Because she's trying to find about first love. She hasn't experienced first love.
Well, because it's also like, of course, I look at like romance as drama, but I don't think it's gonna be the main thing until episode 5.
What if I told you?
But listen,
I think it's mainly
quite
drama.
literally, you would think that because how I thought of it, I was like, oh shit, Mappa creating a series about an animator.
Right.
Maybe they're gonna go talk about the industry and go about her journey of making an anime. My boy,
What?
Truck-kun makes an appearance.
It's an isekai. It's an
It's
isekai.
not even
Episode 1?
It's an isekai, bro.
It's
It's
an
100% an isekai.
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
Not 99%, not 98%. It's 100% isekai.
Like fantasy,
So she's most
fantasy
likely gonna be
too.
in the other
Fantasy.
She's most likely gonna be in the other world the entire show.
Man, let somebody else burn that studio. Now I'm playing. I'm playing.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that the show's not interesting to me.
How much have you seen of it?
1 episode.
No, same. Type shit.
But after watching that 1 episode, it's like I'm not interested to get. I'm gonna catch
So
up.
is that in
I'm
the
only
9?
2 episodes behind. That's in the 9. Yeah.
Okay, so you're counting bullshit.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean? How am I counting bullshit?
Bro, how many series are you gonna finish?
What series are you watching, TK?
I'm watching Zenshu. I'm watching Honey Lemon Shit Soda.
Is
But
it
you're
bad?
gonna
Dr.
drop.
Stone. You don't know that.
Anyways, go ahead.
Oh
Continue.
my god.
Yeah, so I'm watching Zenshu, Honey Lemon Soda, Dr. Stone season 4, Apothecary Diary season 2, Sorero Utility, Sakamoto Days, Solo Leveling season 2, and Medalist. And if you want to count Link Click as well. So
Ooh, okay. Well, that's not too crazy. I feel like.
I'm about to say, I guess it's actually
9.
not that bad.
watching 9 shows.
Because there's a few shows in there that I just yeah, I'm about to say I haven't seen season 1 of Apothecary, so I can't see season 2 yet. I refuse to watch season 2 of Solo Leveling. Zenshu, I'm letting y'all handle that. I am taking care of My Happy Marriage season 2, and I have a crush at work. And then, of course, Sakamoto Days and Medalist.
Zod said, "TK, you don't like honey soda."
No,
Honey
I think
soda.
Honey Soda sucks a whole bunch of donkey dick. But that's just me.
That's it. That's very graphic.
Zod also said that he'd rather, instead of Zenshu, he'd rather watch the anime that inspired it, that being Mononoke Itano Kirks and Tiger Mask.
type shit.
Yeah.
Any what you call it? Yeah, I started Apothecary, so if I catch up, I'll be watching that too. But we'll see. This season kind
I'm
of.
happy to see a Apothecary.
The thing is last winter was also extremely mid, so this winter may actually
This
be
winter's
better.
This winter's already
Which is
better than
crazy.
last one, so I'm
What was last
It's
winter?
crazy to think about that. Crazy to think about
last
that.
winter's stank.
Ooh,
So,
O's finally coming out.
And also, I found a
What?
flaw with Annie List, by the way.
What?
Lazarus.
what?
Lazarus.
Yeah.
What
flaw
flaw?
did you find?
It's so hard to navigate shit by season in here. On
No, it's not.
on your list, on your list specifically, or
I
by
feel
like
that.
air date.
I feel that.
Like,
But my
I mean,
anime list doesn't really have that.
I mean, air date, yeah, but you can do it, but you can filter it by the year.
But I don't want by the year. I want by the air date.
So go to browse. Go to browse.
But I
anime.
want it on my list. I want to see my list.
Yes. You can literally click show my anime only, so you can only see the stuff that aired from
That's tough, I
that
don't know that.
season.
But like, why would I want to do that though?
No, that's not a flaw. I just corrected your flaw, buddy.
It's
Damn,
still a flaw.
God is that.
Because I don't feel like doing it. That's still a flaw.
Well, then that's a user issue.
Damn,
That's a
he said
user
it's a
issue.
user issue. Me personally, I'm not taking that. I just gotta say that.
Have I ever watched a show that originated as a doujin? No. Okay.
Crazy.
Good to know.
Anyways, man, with that being said, man, that's kind of a little preview of the winter season. I guess let us know what y'all are watching in the comments. I know TK was recommending Meta
Yeah,
List.
sorry, I didn't even get off the show. Yeah,
just
I didn't even
throw
get
your
off the shows.
recommendations.
Obviously, if you've seen previous seasons of Doctor Stone and Apothecary, obviously tap into those. No brainer. But if we're talking new series from this season, Medalist would be my top recommendation. Medalist is absolutely phenomenal. And my personally, I'm not gonna lie to you, is probably outside of other season 2s that I haven't tapped into it, maybe like the Rome, was it Office Lover? What's that shit called? Cardiac?
The My Crush at Work.
Yeah, My Crush at Work. I have
My Crush at Work. But obviously, a lot of other romance I ain't tapped into, and besides like continuations, I humbly think, my humble opinion, Medalist is probably my animated season.
Yeah, I could see that.
I ain't
And obviously, if y'all want to tap into
You
Sakamoto,
haven't
we
seen
can chat
it.
about that for a while. No, I'm saying
You can see
fair.
it.
I'm
You
saying
haven't seen
fair because I don't see a
Okay,
lot
my
of
fault,
crazy
my
shows
fault.
this year so far from this
My
season. So I feel it. I gotta tap. I'm gonna tap in. But with that being said, I quickly did want to get y'all's opinions on a couple of other things. Let me pull this up real quick before we get going because we do have to hightail it. But I saw this. Actually, one of my dog. Fuck. He kind of cut it out. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Wait, I gotta get the right. All right. So, friend of the show, DJ sent this to me, right? As a question. So I want to get y'all's opinion. All right. So the question is, all right. So I seen this on Instagram. The question is, would you rather become a Hashira, but immediately after you have to fight Akaza, or become a pro hunter, but immediately after you have to fight Hisoka? What are you guys thinking?
The Hisoka one, easily.
Yeah,
because it's not a confirmed chance he'll kill you.
I feel that.
Yeah.
If you're hella strong, he'll test your buttons, or if you do anything to provoke him, he'll test your buttons. Other than that, he'll probably leave you alone.
Think about what else can happen to you with Hisoka, though. Like, if we're keeping it a buck.
What else could happen?
There's not that.
What else could happen?
There's not that much bad things that could happen. Really.
Besides,
he's a predator.
Hey, River got that devious look. We all grown men. We're all grown men.
If he senses that you are strong as shit, you're on his hit list because he just likes strength.
Really, it ain't about the strength. It's just
are you calling them DJ academics?
Yeah.
Like, is that?
And if I don't test his potential, if I don't test his buttons, I'll probably be left alone. I have a higher chance surviving Hisoka than I would a Kaza because I'm a Hashira.
Surviving
on
Hisoka.
sight immediately.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, a Kaza is on site. There's no debate, no discussion. That's on site immediately.
No, I would say Hisoka as well, but to play devil's advocate, there is if you're you're a Hashira, right? So that means you are strong. Obviously, Akaza is one of the top ranking demons that he will probably kill you, but you do have the chance of being one of the stronger Hashira, because it doesn't say you have to be a weak Hashira.
The stronger Hashira still are gonna get bodied by him.
Smoke.
You think every Hashira getting bodied?
Can't smoke up
individually.
A Hashira can't smoke an upper demon one on one.
Yeah, no.
You think?
He can't do it 1-on-1.
We know. That's why he's still around.
We literally, that's what we literally see. It can't. It literally. They are not. The Hashiras aren't strong enough to be able to 1v1 an upper demon and get to live to tell the tale. Every fight the Hashira's been with a demon, it has been them plus them and
so far. But we haven't seen every Hashira fight, right? I mean, you never know.
I've read it.
Oh,
I've read it.
Well, that's fair. Okay. Well. Cardiac, what you taking out of this?
And Tanjiro doesn't count because he's not a Hashira. I'm taking Pro Hunter.
Yeah, so it's kind of a sweep. The guy in the video said that Hisoka's the booty bandit. So for whatever that's worth.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like that's a common misconception about Hisoka low-key. I ain't go cap, but I won't. We can say that conversation for another day.
That's what you want to turn this short into? You want to defend Hisoka? You got 60 seconds. Go.
Absolutely. Okay. So this guy said if LeBron was in Naruto, he would become the Hokage at birth. Question: what do you guys think?
LeBron dying episode 1, bro.
Whoa.
LeBron Glaze needs to stop.
LeBron James.
This just happened. This just happened in one of my group chats. Bro, my homeboys was sending Bronny highlights. They're like, "Yeah, man, he going crazy in the G, man." Like, yeah, man, I'm glad he's turning it around. And here I come talking about my glorious king could never produce bad seed. He was destined to be
glorious king.
So when it comes to things that my glorious king can do, there's no bounds. There's no ending. There's no restriction.
I just like to say, you said a grown man is your glorious king. You bow down to a whole nother dude.
My glorious king will be Hokage.
Get him.
He will be Hokage at birth. I promise you that.
What did you say?
Hokage?
He will be Hokage at birth. I promise you.
That don't sound how you think it sounds.
I promise you.
Someone in the comments said if and LeBron in the same sentence. That's kind of,
exactly.
It's not if. There's no if.
It's when.
But if we're
I mean to be fair, they do have a commercial with him as like in anime. I don't know if it's an official commercial or it's like fan made thing. But they do, obviously, that is around. That video is a thing. Him in Naruto. So.
Don't talk about my little sunshine like that. Says
I hate everyone.
But if we were really gonna power scale this, so let's really think about it though. LeBron,
I am not about to sit here and power scale LeBron in Naruto.
LeBron would learn the Rasengan before Naruto. So yes, he would be on. He would be on a Hokage level career.
I can see that because you got to think LeBron invests $1 million into his body every year, right? So like,
even if he was orphaned,
right, he's gonna invest all his expired milk into his body every year. So if you think about it like that, the trajectory of his hard work and dedication, and his investment into himself, it knows no bounds. His whole frog wallet is going into his training. You know what I'm saying?
I want you to know, you just said he invests in his body. That man high key Orochimaru. LeBron is Orochimaru in Naruto.
Let's talk about it. Was Orochimaru, when he was in the Leaf, not on a Hokage path career as well?
I'm not giving you that word, bro.
He probably was.
Exactly.
LeBron,
he was on the path, but he didn't become it.
But LeBron was in Space Jam. He scales above everyone in the Naruto verse.
Talk about it. He is planetary.
That's comp. However, I think that Naruto is also planetary. So if we really wanted to talk about it.
But it took Naruto like 33 years for that. It took Ron 33 years just to give it back to Cleveland. Like, that's not.
That's true, man.
He was already planetary.
Like, that's Ohio. That's Ohio. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Compared to the Leaf.
Ohio versus Konoha. Konoha is like, Ohio's like big pond, like big ocean. We're talking about becoming Hokage, right? Like he's there.
Hazard, are you hearing this? You hearing
He's
this
there.
tomfoolery, this nigga babble?
Lapuki's there. I'm
I
sorry.
almost said the N word like three. Almost said the N word like 3 times. Listening to this, bro.
I hate every single one of you.
I'm trying to be very civil. I'm trying to be very.
Y'all
very
denying
civil.
y'all denying the sunshine. Like he's not gonna make everything bright again. Like,
I'll give him a Orochimaru, and he building himself a BBL. Orochimaru. LeBron can buy himself whatever he wants. So give it y'all.
BBL Maru. Hey, BBL Maru.
BBL Braun. BBL Braun. If his son is in there, Bronny Jr., yeah, that man. Who's Tsunade's level?
Who we take here, Bronny or Boruto? Let's talk about it. It.
Bron C would never produce Boruto. I'm just letting you know.
Who was the dude? Wait, I want you to know. I want you guys to know. Who was the dude that Tsunade loved in Naruto before Jiraiya? He died during the war. That's Bronny.
Did you say Dane?
Dan.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, he's that. He's that.
Oh,
don't do Dane like that. It ain't Dane. It's Dan.
You're telling me you saying LeBron James Jr. can live in Naruto?
He was hooping with 2 Force. Who's stopping that? That's low key facts though.
No, I didn't say LeBron. I said his son. I said his son.
No, I was talking about Bron. But Bronny easily
Bronny was in the movie.
Don't lie to you. Don't lie to you. Was he?
Wait, Space Jam 3 with Bronny? Anyways, with that being said, man, it's been another great podcast. With my fellow cohorts and co-hosts, man. Shout out to Alex for his great contributions this pod. Shout out to TK for the W intro. Cardiac and Isaac came through and taught their shit once again, man. Let us know your thoughts on Sakamoto Days. Let us know your thoughts on LeBron in Naruto. Is he going down a Hokage path or is he not? Talk about it.
We're not gonna make this a thing. I promise you.
If this pod hits 10 likes,
I'm with TK.
Next pod we'll talk
Hokage
we'll talk about how if LeBron would find the One Piece before Luffy. Next pod we'll talk about that. With that being said, go ahead and subscribe. We're close to 1,000. We're trying to get up there. We're almost to 100 followers on Twitch as well, so go fuck with us. Go follow us over there. Shout out to everyone joining the live today. If you want to become part of the Flowers family, you can join the Patreon. You can subscribe to the Twitch. We're very inviting. Or you can still become a part of the family just from joining the Discord because we be chopping up in there. We're trying to get more emotion on Discord, so join that. We're going to be more active. And
when you join the Discord, in the description of this video, you can also click the link to participate in the voting for the Flow Award. So make sure to do that so your vote can matter and so we can read it off when that time comes in a few weeks now. Right?
And don't vote for me. Don't vote for me because y'all hate me. Y'all don't fuck with me. Don't vote for me. You know that's what I'm doing.
So when you guys see MVP of the Flow, don't vote for River.
Yeah, don't vote for me. Don't
the first thing on the list, by the way, like the
yeah.
Don't vote for me, man. I don't want your vote. Y'all don't fuck with me like that. It is what it is. But
so ungrateful.
But I fuck with y'all, man. And that's the difference. I love y'all. Y'all don't fuck with me. With that being said, we love you guys. Flow out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.